Brian Palavai, run far here with Sage Canaday before the 2013 Ultra Race of Champions. How you doing, Sage?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful fall day here, but up higher, a little snow.
Yeah. I was. I think I got in about 5 inches. I was putting tracks through, coming up the 2 Trail from I-70 outside of Vail up towards the ski slopes.
And that was just this afternoon.
Yeah, about 2.5 hours ago.
And it's Tuesday afternoon, just 4 days before the race. Have you encountered other snow on the course? You've run this course a lot of late.
No, not 2 weeks before I was out on the course, and 3 weeks before that, and it was still pretty mild here. So This is the first time I've seen the white stuff up in the high country.
And there's forecast for possibility of more on Friday.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, and pretty darn cold too.
Yeah, I think it'll be in the 30s maybe. If there's a wind chill.
20s,
yeah.
Have you raced a longer race in conditions like that? I mean, it was rainy at TNF 50, but not as cold, right?
No, I think this will be a first, doing an ultra in cold. Chucking It was pretty cold.
Chucking, okay.
It was probably 40 and rainy.
2 years
ago. A little
ago.
bit of snow, yeah. Chucking It 2012.
What do you think that's going to be like, that challenge? Because you've had some pretty ideal conditions for some of your races this year.
I don't like the snow.
No?
I'm not a winter sport guy. I don't ski. I'd rather it be hot, honestly. And some of the switchbacks you are coming up the 2 Trail right after it kind of splits. You're going for Silk Road over on the far end of the ski slope. There's some really tight switchbacks there. And I was post-holing through 5-6 inches of snow. I was thinking, if you're in the lead here, you're going to be a huge disadvantage because you're going to have to do all the work breaking the snow. And I hope someone's there on the switchbacks too, because I'd be worried. They're ridiculously tight switchbacks. It's like a mountain bike trail. Some guys from Europe might think it's okay to cut the switchbacks, sky running, but here in America, you got to stay on the trail. So I hope someone's out there.
Maybe that would be on the race website rules.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Let's clarify those things beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
With that snow and having to post-hole through it, probably reduce the incentive for somebody to go for the preems.
Yeah, is there a preem after that?
There's one midway and one, I think, a couple miles in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, we'll see if it snows in Breck.
Yeah, could very well. You've had a great season so far. I mean, Lake Sonoma, you ran well. You were third at Transvolcania. You won Speed Goat, Cayuga Trails. You still had a good run at Mount Washington, even though that's not what you're focusing on.
Yeah, that was tough.
Tough, but you were third.
Yeah,
it was a pretty good run. How are you feeling since Speed Goat? You still feeling on top of your game, or you feel like you're?
Well, I had a humbling experience over in Europe at Serres-en-All. So that was a total disaster, but it just burns the fire hotter, more determined to train harder. And, this has been a focus of the whole year, obviously. And I put in the most training, the most volume I've done in pretty much all year in the last 2 months. The most amount of vertical. I finally got up over 20,000 of feet vertical a week, which is a first for me. I never did more climbing than that, so I don't know if it'll kick in yet. Sometimes it takes a couple months for things to really kick in, but fingers crossed. So I'm feeling pretty good about my fitness.
In terms of spending all this time on the course, there's probably a couple different reasons why you could want to do that. I mean, course familiarity, in terms of the train, there's actual training on that type of train, and then there's not getting lost. How are you doing in the latter category?
Well, let me first say that the only times I've gotten lost were in races with other people. So Max King at Chucking It, Max King at UROC last year, and then the North Face 50 I was with Adam Campbell. So I was never alone and running off course. It was always with other people. So I'm just throwing that out there first. However, I just did a run on the course. I was trying to come down, do the descent and a mid-turn. I got totally turned around on the ski slopes up there in Vail. There's a lot of snow up there. It's really muddy, but I totally biffed it. I don't have an iPhone or Google Maps out, but I had this little paper map I drew of what I saw online, and I see these squiggly lines, and I'm like, I'm on the wrong ridge. I think we're supposed to be on Ptarmigan Ridge, I think it was, and I was way off that. And so I ended up doing a long run today. Really need to taper, but...
So you've had bad luck racing with people in terms of getting lost. There's going to be snow. Are you going to try to run with the pack, go out the front? What are you going to do on them?
Well, I mean, with this level of field, you got to respect the whole lead pack, and you play it by ear. See what the conditions are exactly like. See if it actually does snow Friday night. Definitely go out conservatively. 100K is really far for me. I honestly don't like running that far. I can't imagine what 100 miles is like, but yeah, 100K is far, so you got to pace yourself, and I think this is a fair course. The altitude's probably not fair for people coming from sea level, but you know, in terms of terrain, in terms of variety, it's got all those things. It's got all the climbs. I think it's gonna be close to 15,000 feet of climbing, honestly. Those climbs are tough, so you got to respect the course too.
A lot of the pre-race talk is it's you versus Killian. I mean, he beat you down at Transvolcania, but not by that much. You ran faster than his time at Speed Goat this summer. What do you think about that showdown with Killian?
I think there's a lot of guys that you got to throw in there. Rob is obviously a very strong year. Let's see who else is going to be up there. Oh, well, Dakota. Yeah. So I you know, those guys for sure. Tons of other guys that I could name 10 guys, you know. But no, I'm interested to see how Killian does with the more runnable sections. I know people say it's runnable, it's flat. It's still only 19% road, and you're still up at 10,000 feet grinding uphill. So I mean, most of it is trail, and some of it, you know, it's a fair course, I'd say. It doesn't favor one runner over another. It favors altitude runners. So that would be the only thing that would be a little unfair. I mean, if I could afford it, I'd buy an altitude tent though.
So what have you done to prepare for the altitude? Just
training up high. I did a lot of 14ers with Sandy, just as adventure runs, Maroon Bells a couple times. Just trying to run out in the course. I mean, it's the first time I've ever had home course advantage, really. So every other time I've done an ultra this year, it's like I'm seeing the course for the first time when I race it. So try to not leave any stone unturned.
You feel pretty comfortable then with this?
I haven't covered the whole course.
Okay.
And since I got lost today, no, you know, I'm directionally challenged. I'll admit it. I'll throw that out there. But you know, hopefully, I know Gil and Francesca run a tight ship. I really liked my experience at UROC last year. I know they got some local trail runners helping them out. Mike Ambrose and my girlfriend Sandy Nightfaver are going to be marking part of the course, so tell them to mark it really well. And you know, all the volunteers out here in Colorado are usually really supportive, and it's kind of like a home crowd, so try to do well.
Well, best of luck staying on the course and having a great run out there, Sage.
I'll need it.
Quick bonus question for you, Sage. Obviously, you have a long history of racing through high school, college, post-collegiately, and the road racing scene. Recently, you set an FKT on the Four Passes loop around Aspen, or above Aspen. Are you being drawn to that sort of that more adventure run of late?
I like the challenge. So whether it's high-level competition or just going after a time, I'm motivated by the times a lot. So when I first moved to Boulder, it was like, I'll look up what's fast time at green. And then I learned what FKT stood for, which was about a year ago. And then I was kind of fascinated. So then it's like I had to get all the routes at green. And then even now, I'd like to try to go to the Grand Canyon in October and take a stab at that, the rim to rim to rim. I think that'd be fun. I like the challenge. It's good to get out there and just push yourself. And you have to go and enjoy the run first. Like Maroon Bells, I did a lot of video, took pictures.
During the run?
No, ran it easy. No, when I did FKT, I have a video of that too. But it's like Blair Witch Project shaky, and out of breath, barely talk, you know. But no, I enjoy the challenge. It's fun, and since I have a break between races, we'll see how UROC goes. But I think it's a good test of your fitness and good long hard run you have to do anyway. So
UROC, rim, and then head back to North Face?
Yeah, North Face.
All right.
Because in November I got Team Red, White, and Blue camp in Texas, so we have a good training break in there.
We'll enjoy all your runs.
Oh, thank you.